So Phoebe, first install of the week. Where are we? What's going on?
We are in Rochester.
Yeah.
In the display estate area. So a nice big 5-bed house. This one is gorgeous. It'll come up really beautiful. Haven't gone for any particular style, just gone for more family friendly and a very warm feel. You'll notice I've gone for some Australian natives throughout because we've got beautiful background, beautiful setting here. It's always received really well. And then, well, the other truck was scheduled to a T, and that's completely changed because we have no carpet in one of our installs. So their day's completely rejigged, and one of the other ones, their photos have been brought forward. So that truck is a lot more hectic than this one.
You chose the right truck today, John. Welcome back to Foxy TV, episode 135. Another busy week here at Foxy Home Staging as spring is in full flight. 19 installs and 17 pack-ups just this week. This week we are looking into the factors or aspects of home staging that have helped us grow to this many jobs, including quality, price, consistency, speed, communication, and flexibility. And we'll also be seeing which factors or aspects out of those that real estate agents rank the most important. Jake is going to be doing a breakdown of a survey, which Eva turned into an article throughout this video. So we'll be referencing that article quite a lot. You'll see some screenshots. The link to that article will be in the description of this video. Now, this episode, aside from the footage you just saw at the start of the video, is more informative. So it's Jake and Phoebe at the warehouse talking to camera. Now, I know a lot of you enjoy seeing the properties come to life at an install, seeing the befores and afters. So I'm going to try and do that in next week's video. But for this week, it's more of an informative video, but definitely worth a watch. Let's now head down to the warehouse and chat with Jake.
Yeah, so in December 2020, last year, almost a year ago, we decided to ask, we did a bit of a survey. So we asked 2 different groups. We asked real estate agents that we work with, and then separate to that, we asked other home stagers the question, and we gave them some options, but the question was, what is the most important aspect of home staging to them? Of a home staging service. And the options that we gave were communication, speed, price, quality, consistency and reliability, flexibility. So it was kind of all the things that we, or the answers that we expected would come up, and you had to pick one as the most important of the lot. And we had some interesting results. We had some of the answers that were pretty similar. For the home staging group, other home staging companies, the most popular, so 60%, so by far the most popular answer was consistency and reliability. And kind of following from that, the next was flexibility, quality. So it was kind of around, those, to me, they all are similar. They're based on how good the stager is at the actual staging part of it. On the other hand, what was interesting is the agents, what is most important to them in a home staging service. The number one answer was communication, and that was 30% of the vote, whereas only 5% of the vote from the staging point of view thought communication was the number one factor. And I know Cody's going to talk to Phoebe. She's going to kind of talk a little bit more to the communication side of things, but I thought I'd go through the rest now quickly as well. Yeah, so the second one that the real estate agent group voted for as the second most voted for category was the speed. And for us, that's been one of our selling points. That's our competitive advantage. We've always said that we're the fastest around in terms of both, well, not both, pretty much across the board. So things like if somebody rings and wants a consultation, we can generally do it that day, or the next day. It's very quick. If we say we're going to get a quote out within 24 hours, we do that. We follow up when somebody responds with an email, we follow up quickly. But then it also goes all the way through to actually doing the install and the pack-ups, at the end of the period when the house is sold. So we will, if somebody needs a property styled within 24 hours, within reason, but we usually can make that work. and we're one of the few businesses, if not the only, that we know of that can actually do that consistently. But also time on site. We send the amount of people we need to make sure that we meet timeframes for photography for the agents, for the clients if they need to be somewhere, or we can't be there at a certain time. Speed has always been something that we say we focus on a lot, so we're fast and efficient. The third most voted for category was consistency and reliability. And I think that's it's probably self-explanatory, but the reason that it's become important for us, and it is important to agents, and that's why it's one of the most voted for options, is we're there to make an agent's life easier. We're not their most important person they're speaking to. They're focused on their home sellers, their prospects, they're looking to get more work, and they're doing open homes, and we're a small component of what they do. So knowing that they can ring us or they can send us an email and something will get actioned and they can basically put it into our hands. We've got some agents that like to send us an email and then they just know we're going to do it, and others like to be more involved, and that's fine as well. But it's about the consistency and reliability. Comes back to do they know they've got somebody who is on their team and will do the same high quality job every time. So the next one that I want to touch on is price, and it was voted a little bit lower on the agent side than probably what some people might expect. A lot of people, I think, looking at not so much the voting, but the comments from the Stages group was that they expected the agents to vote for price quite high. And I guess the point there would be some agents, or the theory was that some agents might want a Stager that's lower cost because they're passing the cost on to, or the client is paying for it. So the lower the cost, the easier it is as something that they can sell to the home seller. Being a little bit lower, I mean, price is always important, right? But the way that we kind of think about it is not so much as a cost, it's more of an investment. So any dollar that we spend on home staging or anything else when you're getting a property ready for sale should return that plus more when it comes to the selling price and the time on market and those sorts of things. So for us, price has been something that we don't want to be the cheapest. We want to be kind of middle of the market and be competitive, but we also take pride that we're not in the upper levels of price, because we know the market in Brisbane. We know there's quite a few different staging companies who have to hire furniture because that's the way they've set up their business, and that's fine. But doing it that way means that the price has to be higher so that they can cover their costs. And so for us, price as a competitive advantage, I guess, to some degree, is that we know we come under a lot of our competitors. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's always going to be something that is important to some agents, some clients. The second last point there was quality, which probably maybe is a bit of a surprise, because at the end of the day, you think quality of the quality of the staging is going to be a very important point. I would say the reason it's voted so low is that everybody knows that quality is important, but because of that, it's not the most important. So there's other options that you'd say are, if you had to pick one, you'll pick one of these other ones, but quality is always going to be in the conversation. And I think any stager would like to think that they put out a quality product, quality service, and for us, we've always said that that's important to us as well. The small details matter. The being memorable matters in terms of lasting impressions, and that goes, from our point of view, it goes for both the quality of the staging, if you go to look at the picture or walk in a house, but it also goes for the service that we provide, and that, I guess, that kind of encompasses a lot of these other things, around the communication and reliability and all those sorts of things as well. But to me, that all kind of fits under the bucket of quality of what we provide to an agent and to a seller. So the last one was flexibility, which being voted the lowest, I guess, I don't know that it means that it's not important so much, but for us, it's always been an important thing that we put out as a business. So, and I kind of put this hand in hand a little bit with speed. So flexibility for us means that we can be fast for consultations. We can, if things change last minute, I was going to say often, I don't know if often is the right word, but it's not uncommon that we'll get a phone call and something's changed. Can we get something in this afternoon, or can we switch this one to tomorrow, or the floors aren't finished at a property that we were about to go to, can we do it the next day? And flexibility for us is being able to say yes to those things. And again, it goes back to making it easier for an agent or for a home seller. So flexibility for us is just about having the team, having the resources, the warehouse, the stock, all the things that let us say yes more often. Yeah, so those are the options that we put in the survey, the different things that we asked the the real estate agents and the home stagers to rank in terms of importance. I'll be interested to see when we do it next time, if we've got some different options we can throw in there as well. But they're kind of the ones, or the reason they were on there was because they're the things that we've thought about as we've grown our business, and some more important than others to us. And we built a reputation around some of those, and it's helped us grow to where we are. But we'll leave it there for now. I think we'll head over to Phoebe and she'll go into a lot more detail on the communication side of things.
Why is communication so important to our clients and the agent?
So if I split them into two, for a client, it's really important. Communication is really valuable for them because it's a really stressful and overwhelming process to sell their house. On top of that, for most of our clients, styling their home is a big unknown. They've never gone down that path before, so they don't know what's involved. I wouldn't say it's hand-holding, that much communication that we give, but it is definitely keeping on top of it so they don't get stressed out. But it's also so that when we get on site, exactly what we need left behind, exactly what we need done, power on, house already done the clean, the carpet's all been laid and ready to go. All those things are done before the truck rolls up with furniture, and then we can't do the installation because I haven't had that communication process happening for them already. So it's two parties benefit from it basically. We make sure everything's smooth and streamlined for us, but we also make sure it's really over-communicated and a really easy process so that it just feels really smooth for the client on that side of things. For an agent, communication is imperative because they have so much going on. So if they can basically say to me, can you call this person? And they know that I am going to call the person, I'm going to coordinate the install, I'm going to coordinate an installation date, I'm going to advise the client that they need to book in their photography before I can do my install date, which means that then they contact the real estate agent and book in their photography. Well, no, actually I need to sign my Form 6 and pay my marketing payment so I can book in my photography. I'm a link in the process with the real estate agent to help get their ball rolling without them having to do 10 steps in the background. So for them, they spend all this time getting this relationship with a client. Why would they want to refer me for me then to let the ball drop? Like that's not how we do business, and it's definitely not how I'd want to work with an agent who's working alongside us. So I do what I'd love to see them doing for us. Business 101 is return every email and phone call. For me, I return every email and phone call on the same day. That's really, really important. If I don't return all my phone calls today, then they're not going to get to. I'm not going to get to them because I'm going to have all the phone calls for tomorrow. So that's really important. So making sure I respond via phone or email, all happening on the same day. For me, I get back to the home and I do my emails at night time. So that just works best for me. Phone calls are done before 5 o'clock. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So for me, that is with a real estate agent or a client, and it's about letting them down. Like I don't want to let them down. If I say I'm going to deliver on something, I'll do it. I'll be there at a certain time. I'll bring a certain item. I'll go back and help them change something out. I'll send the delivery crew to go do a removal for them if I say that I've done it. All those things are all part of building a healthy relationship and having good communication. Get your quotes back, and get your quotes back in a really good short time frame. So I will be 100% honest, this is something where I've dropped the ball a little bit. So all our on-site practical consultations right now, because we're really, really busy in the middle of spring, all our on-site consultations, anything that's referred to us via a real estate agent, they get their quotes back within 48 hours. They're advised at a consultation within 48 hours, generally within 24, but I do give myself a little bit of buffer to get it within 48 hours. At the moment, we're getting lots of online quote requests that are coming through, lots of people that are finding us through Google or Facebook. And when I say lots, we're getting 15 a day, and they're the ones I'm struggling to keep up with to get those ones out. So whilst I can say, get those quotes out, sometimes I understand that it can be really, really hard, but knowing that those clients could also reach out to me and I can go into a tangible consultation if they're really very interested and not just touching base to see how much it would cost. Post-installation, on installation day, the girls then come back. We then send the clients an email. The vendor will get an email saying, thanks so much, these are our favourite photos, please see them attached. That way they've got photos to then be able to replicate the styling if they're living in the property. Just give us a bell once everything's unconditional. When we get to the unconditional phase on realestate.com, if it flicks to under offer, they then get an email from us saying, congratulations, great to see, just checking in, are we unconditional, when do we hope to go unconditional, and when settlement. That way I get the ball rolling on our end to make sure that we're going to get there before it settles and collect the styling. But then if they're needing, so for example, we collected a client's property today who wasn't selling for a little while. She literally sold on the weekend, but she's about to have a baby and she doesn't want people to come in while the baby's like brand new. So we're there getting it done today. Agents also get this follow-up email, not every single time, just sometimes. Just it depends if they've indicated they'd like to be kept up, knowing if it's happened, the install's happened, knowing if the client's happy. Just depends on the agent themselves. But that's pretty much post-install communication. They also get a feedback request information, all that sort of thing at the very, very end after we've collected. But as far as the installation process, that's the communication.
And that's it for episode 135 of Foxy TV. As always, thanks for watching and we'll see you next week. Hopefully for some before and afters at a couple of installs. See you then.